Welcome, Sainers. Welcome to Saints TV round 15 review. I just got home. Thought I'd actually drive home first, beat the traffic. First game in a long time that I've left a few minutes early. I'll put that straight out there. Usually I'm one, of the few that will stick around despite how poor we're going. But I couldn't take that last 4 or 5 minutes of just giving up, not running, not chasing, letting Richmond do basically what they want. So I thought I'd beat the traffic and come home and do my review now. Might be a bit easier. It gives everyone a bit of time to dissect the game and what they're feeling and all that sort of stuff. Straight into it. First half, really I was happy. I was really happy with the way we played in the first half. I thought the 4-point halftime lead didn't really do us justice. I thought that the first quarter we came out with a really strong game plan and we switched the ball really well. I thought we did that better than we have in a long time. I thought that we led up a lot to the ball and we actually honoured the leads, and that was a really nice change from bombing it into the forward line and hoping something's going to happen. So I could see definite changes. Really thought Hunter Clark at halfback was excellent. I think he's had the most disposals he's ever had in his career, which before today was 21. I think he ended up with more than that today. Let me just double check. He ended up with 23, which was great, equal third, I think, on the ground for most possession getters. Second quarter, we got up by 23. Richmond came hard. We kicked the first 3 of the game. They got back into it, leveled it, and then we kicked 4 straight. Unanswered, which is something we haven't done in a long time, and got up at 23. And I thought, well, to be fair, in my head, I was like, wow, this is like 2017. We're playing with that ruthlessness that we haven't had in years. And it's not like Richmond just came back into the game. It was kind of a gradual thing in that third quarter. And I thought, even though they won that third quarter and we gave up a lead and had to go into the fourth quarter 7 points down, I still gave us a big chance because I didn't see Richmond. They didn't get any momentum, by building that lead. It was kind of a workman-like lead, and apart from a few players, I wasn't entirely worried about them blowing the game open in the last. I thought it would be a tight finish and one team would get the better of the other, but not the way it went. The way it went was we stopped running, and again, we're supposed to be the fittest team in the league, and this happens. Like, that's completely gone thrown out the window. They outran us. They outworked us. And it was all too easy in the end. We conceded over 100 points again. Again, we've only kicked 70 points in a game, 42 of which were the first half, or at least the first 1.5 quarters, because the last 10 minutes of the second quarter we didn't really do much. Standout players, same as always. Rowan Marshall, far out. This guy is good. We are lucky that we've signed him on because he's going to be an absolute gun if he isn't already. I think he was our number 1 player on the ground. 19 disposals. I've got the stats here. 19 disposals, 1 goal, 10 kicks, 9 handballs, 9 marks, 3 tackles, 33 hitouts, 121 Dream Team points. Second to only Dustin Martin, who I don't know what the fuck the umpires were doing, but the amount of times that he hits someone high in his play on, or the amount of times that he takes everyone on and we gang tackle him and the ball falls out and they kicked a goal from it and it wasn't holding the ball, was a joke. That pissed me off so much. The amount of free goals they got in that first half to stay in the game was beyond a joke. I thought Ross was better. Last week I gave a lot of heat on him and I gave a lot of hate to him, and rightly so, I thought, but I thought he responded well. He got as many touches as he did last week, slightly less, but I thought he was he's better when he's running and he's handballing and he's not kicking. I thought he did that well. He actually laid a few big tackles, which is unlike him. He's not really that in and under sort of guy, but he really led from the front, and I thought he did a good job for the most part. Josh Battle, 20 disposals, 11 marks, really good game from him. Billings, 26. Clark, 23. Akers was good, 17. If we go all the way to the bottom, McKenzie with 9 touches. I think if Webster's fit next week, he goes out. Sinclair 13, but I thought his 13 were better than what it looks on paper, because a lot of his ones were little dinky kicks in the 50 that set up a lot of shots. And I thought that was a really strong part of his game, was that he didn't get a lot of it, but he used it really well. And I guess the thing that we hate and the thing that we want him to get better at is get more of the ball, because you can use it, and he only has 13 touches a game, and he probably can create 3 or 4 goal-scoring chances from that. Imagine if he doubles that output, he's creating over 10 chances a game. Carlisle did as much as he could. I thought he did pretty well at full back. But again, I thought late in the game with that bump out that Lynch took in the square, it was too easy. And those are the sort of forwards, and those are the situations where I think Nathan Brown, he doesn't get pushed out. He holds his body and then he punches it with the other arm for a point. But Carlisle doesn't really like the body-on-body. He likes to jump in front and take that uncontested mark. He doesn't like the body-on-body sort of game. So unless we get Nathan Brown or another backman there to help him out, he'll be in those situations more. I don't think that suits his game. Parker was better, but again, only 11 touches. I thought Ben Long, honourable mention to him, he came in and did a good job. He had 14 touches, kicked 1 goal, took 8 marks, laid 3 tackles. That's as much as we can ask for him. Hanbury, 23 touches, so as much as we can ask. Gresham, 22 touches, but I don't know. Something wrong with Gresh, but I don't know what it is, but he's not his all-time best. He got, again, 22 touches, so you can't complain too much about that, but I would have to argue how many of those hurt the opposition, and I don't think many did. But I can't question his endeavour. He tries every week, but maybe he's just trying to overdo it a little bit, and we need to just get him to do it, just to, go back to the basics. And again, that's most of our team. Dunstan, 18, not good enough. Caulfield, 16. Membry, 16, did well, but only 1 goal. Wilkie, 14. Steele, 11, not good enough. Laid 8 tackles, though. Hind, 15 and 2 goals too. Excellent. One of our best. Patton, 13, not good enough. Bruce kicked 3 straight, so good to see him get back into his formula and 13 touches, but he kicked 3 goals, so that's all we can ask for. In terms of stats, we kicked a lot more than we handballed, which is good. I like that. We had more free kicks, which is beyond me. I don't know how that happened. Our efficiency was 77%, so that's very high. But again, a lot of it was switching the ball. We played a shorter game today, and I liked that. But when we wanted to go aggressive in the middle, at times we pulled the trigger. The disappointing thing overall, halftime we've kicked 7 straight. Full-time, 10-10. We almost did what we do best. Kick more points than goals. We leveled it after being 7 straight. 3 goals, 10 in the second half to 10 goals, 5. 10 goals, 5, 15 to 3 goals, 10. Almost as many scoring shots as Richmond, and we couldn't capitalise. Really, really upsets me. This puts us probably out of finals, 6 and 8. We had only 3 less scoring shots. We had as many inside 50s. Tackles, we had less. Clangers, we had 10 less clangers. We had 12 more clearances. 12 more clearances. 7 more hit-outs, more uncontested marks, slightly less contested marks, more marks overall, less contested possessions, more uncontested possessions. We did a lot right. Stats-wise, we did a lot right. But it was that last quarter. Again, we got within 6 points in that last quarter, and we just fell away. We kicked 2 goals 7 to 7 goals 3. Can we have one quarter, guys, where we don't let them get the hold? How hard is it? I mean, I know we can't flood players back at the bounce, but in general play, let's be a bit more defensive. Let's hold it to a 12-point deficit and then go hard in the last 10. Let's not concede 5 unanswered goals like we did and have the game blown open. It's just ridiculous. And the first half, it's annoying because the first half shows what we can do. Second half shows what we can't do. And I don't know if that's a Richo thing, but the first half we played short, we kicked to leads, we kicked straight, and we were ahead against a good team. That's us playing well. I don't know if that's because of Richo, but second half was what we've done for years and years against for Richo and the way he coaches is bombing, running aimlessly, bombing again, running aimlessly, bombing again. It's not going to win you games. Even Richmond, who are known to bomb and run off the pack, they manage to kick short at times, and they're a bomb team. They're as bomb happy as we are at times. They just have better smalls and they know how to play that game better than us. And they wore us out, and they did what every team does. We fell away against Collingwood. We fell away against Brisbane. We fall away in most games now, and to be talking ourselves up as being one of the most fit teams in the league and then fall away that easy, that just tells me it's a structure thing. Maybe it's not a fitness thing. Maybe it's just how we prepare on the field. And that goal at the end where the ruckman just grabs it, walks into an open goal, was a disgrace. That lack of talk, lack of structure is us to a T, and why we can't beat these top teams. And I would have been happy with a 1-goal, 2-goal loss, but to let them get that run on and to kick over 100 points again is just shit. Let's go through some of these comments. Let's go from the top. I'll go from the bottom, mind you. You think you're upset. I have been following Saints since telecast started in Tassie 1970. Raises that goal in the last where we had no ruckman and the ruck waltzed in for an open goal was fucked. Matthew says, we had 7 scoring shots in the first half. On what planet is that acceptable? 7 goals straight. That's what is acceptable about that. Matthew says, slow football, sure it's controlled, but Richmond just set up behind the ball and scored from defence. St Kilda have no identity at the moment. Start naming the players who let the team down after half time. If we are getting a new coach, get Robert Harvey in. Grant says 10-5 scored. Second half showed lack of midfield pressure. Richmond seemed to run through the middle of the ground so much easier than the first half. Can you really blame Richo for today's performance? Mostly liked this side today. Yeah, I'm not too fussed with how Richo coached. I'm fussed with not even execution. It's lapses in mentality and attitude in their last quarter, and that's something the coach can't control. It's on the players, and again, lack of leadership cost us. Ben Dixon and Monty for Coach of the Year. Do we keep Richo as coach or move on? And looked better, just not fit enough. I don't know. I'm not even gonna put energy into this Richo talk right now. Let's just talk about today's game. Bruce much improved. I thought so. I thought he did well on the deck as well, and the ball hit the ground. Joe says 22 touches, big deal, and doing nothing with them. Tipping that's in regards to Hunter Clark. Completely against your comment there, Joe. You're labelled a top fan, which is good. Thank you for being a top fan of this page. But bad comment. Hunter Clark, the amount of times that he put his head over the ball and got a quick hand out was ridiculous. So many goals from halfback because of him putting his head over the ball and getting quick hands out to the runners. I thought he did well. Sorry, my voice is shot. 9 players under 25 games today, which is outstanding. I thought, with that amount of inexperience in a team against a team that's played in grand final 2 years ago, we did as well as we could have, and I'm proud of most of the team. Mainly the whole team. I'm proud of the effort. Just that last 15 minutes where they fell away. Marks is the second best thing we have done in the last 2 years is dropping Longer, trading Hickey and bringing in Marshall. The ultimate thing I'm still waiting for, still hasn't happened, sack the coach. Only played 2 quarters again. Thought the boys tried hard, but the Tigers had worked us out in the last 2 quarters. Unpopular opinion, but does Gresh take a spell for a week? Seems like he doesn't know if he's a forward or a mid. I've said that for weeks. I don't know what he is anymore. The coaches have really confused me. They should have left him as a gun forward. I don't like when he plays midfield at all. I don't think he needs to be there. Even if we lose every week from now on, play the young players, not this underperforming who let us down week in, week out. Already a start with, I thought we did better without Nunes. I thought we did better without Armitage, without Longer, these sort of blokes. Hopefully, we have players like Patton, Caulfield, Hunter Clark taking those positions and making them their own in the last 8 weeks of the season. The lack of communication on the field, hashtag Richo out. Thoughts for Reece Shaw as coach. I talked about that pre-game. I'm not sure if it's just they've been phenomenal, North Melbourne, since that change of coach, but it's hard to tell if it's really Rhys Shaw or it's just the excitement and buzz around the club after sacking a coach. Because every time someone sacks a coach, like, Bolton goes to Carlton, leaves Carlton, the first 2 games after Bolton with Teague, they've done well. Doesn't necessarily mean Teague's a good coach. Still too early to tell, but if they keep this run going and make finals and they don't keep him, I'd be looking into him. Be interesting. From now on, Richo should play all the young players and let the underperforming players finish the year at Sandy. Another performance where a strong performance wasn't reflected on the scoreboard, a 5-minute burst in the last Kilda game. Happy to see some of the youngsters like Carr, Caulfield and Long stand up. 33 points wasn't a clear reflection of the golfing quality, but the pressure-based game plan does leave us open against good sides. Hunter Clark needs to play on the halfback flank for the rest of the year. Regardless of finals, we need to try and get something out of the season. Big game against the Roos next week. Good comments there, guys. How many possessions did Savage have? What has he done? Savage finished with a lazy 19, 11 marks. Didn't use it very well. He was classic bomb happy again. Rarely does he go for the short option, like a lot of our team. And over time, Richmond just wore that down. They knew what we were doing, and they rebounded. They knew the bomb was coming. The first half, we went short, and that kind of threw them. Second half, for some reason, went back to that old style and really cost us dearly. It's just disappointing overall. I might leave it there, guys. My throat is killing me. Cheered hard again today. I'm cheering hard when my throat is killing me. I hate to say it, but finals is out of the question now, which kills me because I thought Richmond were there for the taking. The fucking Bulldogs beat them, guys. The Bulldogs hammered Richmond. Yeah, I don't know. It just throws me. The Bulldogs hammered them. Other teams that, North beat them. Why couldn't we do it today? Why couldn't we go there and be ruthless? I don't know. Terrible, terrible result in the end. After what was a positive performance, I thought the first half was one of our best, most clean first halves in a while, and then we go and do what we did in that second half and really hurt ourselves and just take the spirit out of the game. But we raised a lot of money for Maddie's Vision, which is important as well. So good to see everyone donating. Next week, I think we have North Melbourne. On Sunday at 3:20 at Blundstone, followed by Geelong in Geelong, followed by Bulldogs. So big 3 weeks. Hopefully we can pull something out. If we don't win any of those 3, Richo's in big trouble if he's not already. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for watching and commenting. Keep them coming. I'll respond when I can. Loving all the comments and all the passion shown by you guys. This is the channel for the fans that even though we're going poorly, we'll rock up every week. We'll watch the game. We'll cheer as hard as we can, hoping that game, that week, is the week that we turn the season around, turn our club around and really have an identity and want to stand for something. Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. It's been a long wait, but I'm sure it's around the corner. If we can just change coach or change players and just really work hard to just become a better team. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the preview of the North Melbourne game. Judge Jaden on Monday as well. I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys, and go Saints.